learned from the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming in on August 28, 2020, and the stock market is going to get inflated, or at least that is what Wall Street likes and showed today. But we had that historic, to a degree, we had a long talk about it. I still think it is, speech from Powell, and some things have changed, but they didn't really change. We have a lot to talk about, but I think it is going to lead to some plays. We still have the Dow reshuffle completing tomorrow, so I'm expecting some really bigger moves coming in on Monday, Tuesday, or next week. But what we saw today was very, very important, and we had a lot of cool plays, so I have a lot of trading strategy to go over, and tomorrow is going to be a Froggy Friday. So given what we've been talking about on these last watch lists, I've been making some adjustments to some plays. So I want to go over all this and you'll see. But tomorrow could be exciting. Again, good learning day, but be very, very careful. And I hope you're ready. But let us not delay. You guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description and it is pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free $99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/thestockmarket. You can post the plays, see the plays, watch the watch list come to life. And yes, we have a Jerome Powell fan club. And tomorrow is Bring a Friend to Colt Day, and we are a Colt, so that's a lot to take in right now, but hopefully we see you there tomorrow. And the most important thing you need to do, post your watch below, let us know what you're looking at, got any plays, comments, remixes, anything, post them below and source that info. Shout out to Chad, baby. So right off the bat, we have a lot to talk about. Again, it's focusing on what Powell did say and what he did and didn't do, but he didn't change anything, but he set himself up. So we kind of knew what was going to be said. We've talked about this over the last few days, but we got to see a few little tweaks that we weren't aware of. But essentially, my take on all of this is that he doesn't really know what's going to happen or when it could even get bumpy, but I think he's getting ready for it. So what he changed was how the Fed, or pretty much their long-term view, he said they're going to be looking at inflation different. So we've talked about that, but now, and what that would mean, but now we've got to see, okay, what is his plan on doing it, or kind of the logic behind it is what he explained today. So as far as inflation and this average inflation we've been talking about, what he said today, in essence, it's that we keep running short on inflation, that 2% target. So he's saying, let's overshoot it, inflation, for some periods, and then we'll average it out. So instead of hitting a goal, it's saying, let's hit the goal over time, over an average. So this is good and bad. We talked a lot about the implications. If any of you guys want to go on stream and tag some of those areas in the comments when we were, that would be great, and the cult loves you. But for the most part, even throughout this speech, even today, and even what we're looking for in the follow-up, the market should like inflation. Prices go up, more money to go around. Again, there's going to be some longer term effects. Now, the other thing he talked about was employment, and they're going to be changing their long-term view of how they view employment, unemployment, maximum unemployment. And I thought that was interesting and surprising, but it wasn't really the kicker. The final thing that really stuck out to me, and again, with all of this, what we've talked about is making sure right now, if Powell doesn't know what's going to happen, we don't either. So it's kind of a wait and see approach, even on my end, but just know this is still going to take some time, and Powell has already artfully and skillfully maneuvered this at a pretty interesting timeline. Again, it's already August, but we're entering some of the more rough patches of the year. But what Powell also brought up, which was kind of important, again, really, it seems like the market was really only caring with inflation, and my question is how he's going to spur that. But he brought up the lower bound. He brought up 0% interest rates, and he's saying that it's actually going to affect us, or it could affect us soon, which is a little bit surprising, but also in the future and the long-term effects if we're at zero. But my interpretation that I got from all of this was that he's saying, hey, we're already at 0%. We can't use cutting rates as a tool. What we should do is spur some inflation so we have a reason to raise rates. And obviously, again, that would take a lot of time for that to occur. Just kind of even think 2018, 2019, if you've been following since then. So it wouldn't happen quick, but what Powell is pretty much saying is that now where we're at with interest rates and kind of this plan with average inflation and where we're at, it could affect us in the long term. So he might make a play on it. But the key I was getting from this is that how is Powell going to communicate to the market? So I gave a lot of different analogies on stream today, but this is going to be important is now if you're using average inflation and not a target anymore, you're going to be changing some of these metrics that most market participants, even myself, other investors, banks, whatever it may be, and general retail, how are they going to interpret all of this and understand it? Is he going to be able to clearly communicate policy? And he even discussed that. So this is going to be the key. So how he says this long-term inflation and how we stay at zero, he needs to communicate a plan forward. That will kind of give us an idea of even how to position ourselves with some of these trades. But this is what was talked about today. There was some other stuff I did not bring up yet, but the play is still in motion. However, it is going to take some time. Now, I did set up for it. And my broader scope is, I was saying yesterday it's looking a little toppy, but even in general, it's clear at some point there is going to be inflation. We talked about it today. Well, why do you really want periods of higher inflation, or why would you need that ability if you weren't worried about deflation? But even then, I'm kind of viewing prices to kind of even go up. So we talked about this about 3 weeks ago. We saw the UVXY go up yesterday. It's up today. That was an old play. I'm setting up around that same logic of kind of just getting insurance while I could get it cheap, because I'm not really familiar with the value of money right now. Again, I brought that up a few weeks ago. Now I'm seeing it kind of come into fruition and now getting a little insight from Powell. So maybe there is inflation, maybe there isn't. Either way, there is crazy inflation and prices do go up a lot. Maybe it could have some weird effects and even trickle down to the cost of plays. I don't know. But it is going to get exciting here. So that is going to be in kind of the mid, but mainly long term. That's why I'm saying nothing really changed. He didn't say or do anything different. We were kind of anticipating most of this, but if you could kind of read between the lines, this is kind of setting up the boundaries moving forward. So you'll see when we get to the plays, again, midterm, long-term, but now on the shorter term, as far as tomorrow, it could be a froggy Friday, but the main thing is going to be the Dow reshuffle. I think that's even holding things back with what we saw today, but I think some individual names will be crazy. We saw some earnings beat with Ulta. We got some of that. Shout out to Colt. But I'm really going to look for the market to kind of move as a whole now Monday or Tuesday, considering all of this, and see the overall reaction, because today moved weird, but we were still up and down in a way. It looked like more of a rotation day, but something happened and something has definitely changed. So we will see, but again, pay attention for tomorrow. It should be exciting, but that is pretty much it. So let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, we have a pretty crazy list. So we did these 3 trades today, got to realize about $1,000, but it was crazy. I said I didn't like it. And honestly, I'm saying there's been hot money. This reminds me of Bitcoin in 2018, but now the overall market, it's wild. So there's opportunities to scalp. We're going to go over it. I made these plays. I even talked about kind of how I was even doing them, but it's very, very risky. But I'm going to show you kind of how I'm able to pick and choose. But this is a game of wicked hot potato. Like I said, be very, very careful, please. But these were the 3 plays I made. Again, we have Ulta. We had this one for earnings, but I'm going to watch them tomorrow. They surprised. They're up a lot, almost double expectations. So this was a really big earnings beat. So I like them a lot. So I think this could be one of those continuation plays. We will find out, get to kind of put the strategy that we learned this week to the test, and then also beyond. They got some positive news today, like some e-commerce stuff, but I was trying to get an order. I couldn't get filled, but I like them again tomorrow on Fridays. And again, I don't know if you guys realize, it feels like some of the stocks we would play, they're kind of coming back around now. I'm liking this because even with the hot money, I want to be able to hit some of these plays that a lot of the eyes aren't on right now. So we will see, but these are going to be the 2 main ones, Ulta, Beyond for tomorrow. But now as far as these plays, let me show you the ones that we did. I'm still going to be in these. I'm going to look for these types of plays, and there's still some other stocks I want to see, but I really want you to just understand the strategy. So let me take you throughout our day. It was pretty exciting, but I want to focus on, it was a balance of news events as well as balancing the budget and risk management. Now, it was really a lot of the trades came off of a few things. So we had some news plays in the morning. It was around Microsoft, Walmart, even Snapchat. We made a lot. I played them big. I did some quick flips, and even then, I even said this on stream. I didn't even put these on, even on the stream alert, even on stream, I didn't say the specific plays just because I was picking up on something with the market, and you're going to see why. I'll show you why, but I didn't it was very, very dangerous. I didn't want to, even with the amounts I was even saying. By the time I was even getting in some of these, the market is acting so crazy with options. And again, let me point this out. I didn't really say this today at all. I kind of clicked after hours. A big portion is the underlying asset. It's the stocks. Yeah, there's a lot of people on Robinhood, but they are not all trading options. You have to keep that in mind. It's what these underlyings are doing, and then it's all mixing back and forth, but it's getting wild. So I said it's better for you guys to kind of watch these after and learn from them, because you mess around, you'll get clapped. And you could even see with how we played it out. So it started in the morning, within 1 minute, I'm off to the races. There were some issues. You were on stream. You'd probably hear me complain about not getting filled. I was going for Beyond Meat. So they had that news that they had the e-commerce thing. So what do we do? So these are the next week. And this is what I'm saying. You'll see between these plays, you're going to have to do a balance of the weeklies and next week's. And again, we even saw a later news play that it was popping, but there wasn't anything. You guys have to know when to say no to these. And we'll even talk about some of the psychology. But I'm trying to get this 175. I'm not getting filled. I noticed my limit, 15 cents, 10, $150. This is in the morning. We don't know what's going to happen. $150 isn't that much. Again, for a weekly, it is, given the account size and what I'm pushing. Not really. Very, very marginal. Again, keep in mind, if I'm putting this much, control your budget. And then again, how do I move forward from here? So you can see I'm going down the chain. I'm going 175, 180. I'm not getting filled, but notice quantity and limit price stays the same. I'm not going to spend more than 150. So I'm going all the way up the chain, and finally I get to like 200. I'm like, listen, man, I was going to get a 175, 200. It's not worth it. I was trying to get it at 15 because they were really, really cheap in the morning. But then what started to happen, it shot up. It even hit up like 60 cents, 40, came down 20, but it ended up ending lower. So kind of funny to watch. So it's a good thing I didn't get it. I was over that play anyways, but Beyond was up. So 15 cents was like a slight premium to where it closed, about 50% premium in there, but I like the momentum. So it's funny how that one even worked out in our favor. So I moved on from that play. I did some other plays, I believe. We'll talk about the big plays, but now here's where the magic starts to happen now. So here's the Microsoft news, and this is what, like 9:48? So it starts to kind of pop off a little bit. Mr. Hits, he even posted the news like right here. I was waiting, and it was so slow to react. And even I was pretty slow. I took my sweet time with this play. But there was news about Microsoft within 48 hours or something. They were going to hear from the TikTok thing. So I was like, okay, let me get the next week. I got 5 of these at 42 cents. But again, first trade, I wanted 150. I was like, okay, this has some news here. Again, it's still early. We still got to feel it out. And again, we still have Powell. I made Powell plays separate from this. That's what's even crazier. For $40, 5 contracts, I spent $200. And then what started to happen, within a few minutes, it starts to shoot up and go crazy. So what do? I sold one back at 187, got the initial investment back, and then I'm holding the rest now. And then I ended up selling those throughout the day. I think I'm holding 2 left by that. But now this is where it gets a little bit more interesting, because that was the first play. Then you'll notice a gap about an hour in between. What started to happen was now Oracle, they start shooting up on news that they made a bid lower, and then the TikTok, this was all based on this TikTok bid news. And then I saw this one, I missed it, but we saw these options go 10 cents to $1, and I was like, whoa. The market was just, again, that craziness that I was talking about. So I was like, wait a minute, I missed that. It was kind of good. I was, all right, well, we got the Microsoft. My Microsofts are at like $2 or more at a pop or something. Yeah, I ended up selling them at 180. They hit like 2 something, but I didn't take them at the high. But this is where you see, after picking up on the Microsoft, we hit that. I get the Oracle news. We missed that one. It starts to shoot up. It's based off this TikTok news. Okay, I have an idea. So then Mr. Hits in the chat again now post a similar news. This is now 30 minutes later. So again, it was Microsoft, and then about an hour later, the Oracle news comes out. We miss it. We watch it go crazy. And then 30 minutes later, you could kind of see the charts a little bit. Similar news comes at Walmart. So in that case, I was able to just strike very early. But now you could see I was going for 100 contracts at 11 cents. But the key to going and snaking the chain, I'm not chasing on the prices. So you could even see right here, I put my order in for 100 of them, but I only got filled at 2 on the 137s at 11 cents. So I was like, damn, okay, I had to move a little quickly. I canceled that, and then I did 100 at the ones above it. I got 40 at 9 cents. Then the rest got all filled at like 10 cents to even 11 cents. But again, I was keeping my ass the same. I said, I'll do $1,100, quick flip it, get my initial investment, and then we'll see if it goes crazy. I already got a little hint from Oracle. So again, the idea is this isn't just about trading the options or anything. It was the news. And you could see I was going small up until we kind of had a real clear hint at the news. We hit the Microsoft, okay? We saw the potential. We saw Oracle. And then now we didn't play that one. So we still had profit from the other one. We didn't go out. We missed some opportunity. But then this one came up. Same exact news. Went to the chain, went to the weekly, and then did my thing pretty quickly. You could see even within a minute, I wouldn't even have time to even do the stream alert. That's why I was saying you guys got to be very careful. It shot up to 14. So I was like, okay, let me get 40% of my money back. Or I think I sold 70 of them. And then I had the final 30. And then I sold them at various prices, but you can see here, it was like $1,100 is what I put in initially. So I made $2,200. I mean, it was a crazy gain, but I could have made more. But you see, I was very conservative at first. That first 40 only made me 170, and then the rest of the money came from everything else. So, but I completely exited out of that play. We got out of that. And then now I tried the same thing with Snap, and you could kind of see the momentum kind of slow down. I was expecting, well, remember, we saw this news a few weeks ago, and Snapchat kind of got in on the mix. So it was popping off again a little bit later. So I was like, all right, let me try the same thing. I did 100 of the next weeks. Again, if you could get more time to bet. It's a very, very dangerous game. Did $900. It went up to 15 cents, sold half of them, or I think 70 of them, got my $900 back. And now I'm still holding those. I haven't got out of them yet. So hopefully you guys could kind of see the idea of it's mainly interpreting the news, but then kind of controlling the balance with these news plays. Go small until you're able to hit it. It's kind of like counting cards if you're familiar. Don't bet big until you really can. And that was kind of the key with that, because we were saying we want to spread it out. That was both reacting quickly, getting the news, but then it was very, very led, because the next thing I said, even from a psychological point, we saw another news trade come out or something, but I said, I'm not even going to play it no matter what. After you hit a few of these, we had a pretty good day. I mean, we realized like 2,900 at that point. You might even want to burn one, because sometimes news will even come out and the market kind of has already seen this and the market reacts a little bit, but it's just not there. So don't be afraid to burn one. And if you think about it, we did burn one with Oracle and I burned one with Beyond. I couldn't get filled. I missed Oracle. Those were two different trades. I mean, I just didn't trade. The ones that we did hit, it made it a lot easier to hit, if that makes sense. But that was pretty much it. I hope that helps. Again, the plays we're looking at tomorrow, my other plays were GLD and IWM. So this is already a longer than usual watch list, but this was a pretty big play, and this was now related to Powell and inflation. Again, I'm even saying if there is massive inflation, it could make everything go up in value, even the price of puts. I've talked about this. We had those old UVXYs, but I flipped the coin. I was kind of feeling it, but the key I was making sure is I'm getting till middle of next year. I want a lot of time. I want to buy some of these leaps if I'm going to buy any sort of big put position. So I spent about like 12 or 15,000 on EEM puts and then IWM puts as well in the morning. But the main thing I would say, even related to inflation, I got some GLD 260s. These stayed around the same price. I got 20 of these. And again, they covered till January. So these have a little less time. I'm not as confident. But the idea is, you guys have even seen it, even with inflation, it has benefited gold. But there's a lot to this. Ask me about these plays tomorrow. We went over all these on stream. But I will give a full analysis of these whole plays and everything in a video tomorrow or over the weekend. But as far as everything else, I think Facebook's moving down after hours. That's very, very interesting. But I did also an Apple premium sell. I'm going to be watching all the plays we're in now again. I like the Beyond Ultra trade. I'm going to watch Apple again too, second after hours. But with everything going on, again, last day of this split, even Tesla, we had that little weekly play come up, but then it kind of faded away. As far as TLT, UUP, GLD, I like GLD again. I think that's more predictable with inflation, but we will see, and we got to give it time. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to reflect on the yellow lights, baby. Do you like stopping? Do you like going too fast? Think about it. Think about it. Relax. And guess what? What's yours is yours, baby. But the court loves you. I love you. I'm going to see you in the morning. Let's go.